Hey guys, my name's Tim Bray and I'm here to bring you this second tutorial in our tutorial series. This is going to be about making an intro for your videos. If you were to make any, for example, if you wanted to put a video on YouTube, you could put this at the start with your name or your username on it. So I'm going to give you a quick preview of what we're going to make today. As you can see, it's a smoke intro revealing a text. So I'm going to open a blank document and get into it. So to start off, we're going to create a new composition by going composition, new composition, and composition settings window is going to pop up. So we're going to change the name to testing 2, so it's slightly different from the last video. We're going to keep on the same preset HDV/HDTV 720 29.97, and we're going to click OK. Next, we need to import a video file of a smoke pass, so we can use it in our video. To do this, we need to go File, Import File. Now I've got mine here sitting in my project folder. You guys will find it in the same folder that you'll find all your other videos, in the same chat folder for you guys. So we're going to double click on that and it's going to import the item in. So now that we have it in our project panel, we can click and drag it down to the bottom panel and let go, and it's going to pop up. Now this file is the same size as our composition, so we don't need to change the size, but just say it wasn't, a way we can do it to fit the composition would be to right click on the smokepass.mp4 down the bottom, go to transform, and then fit to comp, and there you go. So now that we've set up our smoke cloud and set up the stage, we can move on to putting our text into the stage. To do this, we need to click on the horizontal type tool up top and click anywhere on the stage. Next, you can type whatever you want. I'm going to type in project in all bold so it looks nicer and it's easier to see. This also works better with the smoke cloud, as you'll see later. Now we need to change the size of this in the font. So to do this, we need to highlight our text, and over on the right in the character panel we can click down the drop arrow and pick any font we like. I found one earlier called Cordia New. This one looks quite nice. It is nice and smooth, which will look good in the smoke cloud. You can choose whatever you like. It's completely up to you. Now we need to make it a bit bigger so it can fit inside our smoke cloud. So we need to click on the selection tool, then click on the red boxes on the edges of the corners and drag it out to be bigger. The size we're looking for is to be big enough, only just big enough to fit inside the smoke cloud, and long enough till it almost hits the edge of the stage. So you want it to be fitting inside the smoke cloud so it's not overextending, so it looks good. So if we hit play, we can see that the smoke cloud is constantly covering our word project. Now that we have our text set up on the stage, we need to add an effect to make it look like the smoke is revealing it. To do this, we need to make sure we've selected the project layer. Then we need to go up to the effect tab and go down to transition and then go linear white. Here in the transition completion percentage, if we drag that higher, we can see that it covers up the text. We want it to be going the other way around, so we need to change the white angle to -90 instead of +90. Now when we move the transition completion, we see that when we go from 100% to 0%, that the text is slowly revealed in the same direction as the smoke. So to add the effect, we need to make sure our timeline header is at 0 seconds. We need to put the transition at 100%, and we need to click on the little stopwatch next to transition completion to make a keyframe. Once we've done that, we need to drag the header to the end of the animation to where the full word will be revealed, which is about 5 seconds in, and then we just change that percentage down back to 0%. So now when we go back to the start of our timeline and we hit play, we can see that our word project is coming across as the smoke is coming across. Now that we have our effect in place, you may find that your text is revealed either too fast or too slow. To fix this, we need to make sure we have the project layer selected, then hit the U key. Here we can see there are little diamonds down the timeline, and those are our keyframes for our animation. If our words project is going too slow and we need it to speed up, we can click on that diamond, the last diamond, and drag it in for it to speed up. So now if I move my timeline back to the start and hit play, you'll see that my text is revealed a lot quicker. If it's going too fast, I can just move it back even more to make it a lot slower. So if I hit play, you'll see that it's quite delayed when coming up. You guys need to mess around until you can find a good time where it comes out nicely. This is quite nice here. Another way to make our animation look a little bit nicer is by having softer edges when it's revealed. As you can see here, the edges we have are quite sharp when revealed, so to make it a bit more blended we need to add a feather effect. So if we go up here to the project panel, under feather in our linear wipe, we drag that up to about 60. You can see that it now blends in. So if I zoom back out to fit the comp and I go back to the start and hit play, you see that it is blended in a lot more, so it looks a lot nicer and fits in with the smoke more. So now that we've mucked around with our settings to make our text reveal look a lot nicer, we're now going to make it look even better by adding some effects to it. So first we need to create an adjustment layer. So we need to make sure we've selected our project. We need to go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. Now on the adjustment layer we're going to create a mask. So I've already zoomed out. You guys can zoom out by using the magnification ratio pop-up, or you can hit Control minus, up to you. And then we're going to go up top to the rectangle tool. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to start our mouse up high above the stage so we can make a bigger square, and we're going to drag that across just a wee way in and make sure it goes over the bottom as well. So now we've done that, we're going to go down to the mask tab underneath our adjustment layer. We're going to click the down arrow and we're going to see mask path. So we want to create the mask path, so we're going to drag our timer back to the start. We're going to click on the stopwatch right next to mask path, and then we're going to drag our timeline to the end of the animation, which is about 5 seconds in, and then we're going to double click. We're going to go select the selection tool first, sorry. We're going to double click on it, the mask box, so it turns grey, and we're going to drag it over to the end of our animation, which is about there. Now After Effects is already going to create a keyframe for us, so we don't need to worry about that. So now if we go back to the start, we should see that our box is following the animation the whole way. Just like that. So now that we've done this, we need to add some effects to this layer. So we're going to go up to Effects, and first we're going to add a Distort. So we're going to go down to Distort and then Turbulent Displace. We're also going to add a blur to make it blend in a bit more. So we're going to go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, Fast Blur. So now that we have our effects in place, we need to change some of the settings to make it look nicer. I've got some preset numbers that look quite nice. You guys can do whatever you want, up to you. So under the amount, we're going to change that to 35, and under size, we're going to change that to 42 under the turbulent settings. We're going to go down to evolution, and we're going to hold down the Alt key and click on the stopwatch next to evolution. A little text box is going to come up. We're going to type in time times 250. This is going to make After Effects put in keyframes for you, and will also animate it for you. Now under fast blur, we need to change the blurriness to 12. So now if we drag the timeline back to the start and we watch it play, we can see the effect coming into play. It looks quite nice. One problem here is that the smoke is also being affected by the effects, and we don't want that, so we need to go down to the smoke layer and click and drag that up above the adjustment layer, and let it go. And we also need to change that to screen so we can see through it. So now that when we play, the smoke isn't being affected, but the text is. One problem here is that we can see the harsh edges when being revealed. I'll zoom up for you guys. One way to fix that is to go down to the mask layer under the adjustment layer. So where to see that, if it's not popped up, you just need to click on the down arrow at mask 1. When you go across to the feather, we need to drag that up to about 100. So now if we go back to the start and click play, we can see the effect coming into play, and it's looking quite nice. Sorry, the frames is a bit low at the moment because it hasn't been rendered out. Sweet, now that looks quite nice. Another problem here is at the end, the effect is still going on, so to change that we're going to turn the opacity of the effect down to 0 so it looks like the effect stopped. So to fix this, when you go around to about the end of the text, which is about 5 seconds, and you go down to mask opacity, when you click on the stopwatch to make a keyframe, just drag out a little bit, not too far, and then drag it down to 0, and another keyframe will be put in for you. So now when we go back and hit play, you're going to see that the effect is going to stop, and it's going to look like it's just faded away. Great job guys, now we have finished with the intro. Let's take another quick look at it. It's looking quite nice. Be good if we could add some color to it just to make it look a bit prettier instead of just bland old white. So to do this, we'll edit the smoke first. So I'm just going to drag the timeline over a bit more so we can see the smoke. Make sure we've clicked on the smoke layer, and then over to the right here under the characters panel, we're going to change that to effects and presets. You're going to click on that, and then the search bar we're going to type in colorize. Make sure you type colorize with the American spelling, so no U, and with the Z. Alright, so now we've got some presets here. You guys can have a look through, see which ones you like. I've picked out one earlier that I quite like, so I'm going to go sky orange. Here we can see the start color and end color, which is pretty much just like a gradient. I want mine to be a little bit brighter, so I'm going to change my end color to be a brighter red. I'm also going to change my start color to be a bit of a brighter orange as well. It's a nice color smoke. So now I'm going to go back to the text layer and change the color of the text. So I'm going to click on the same preset, and I'm going to make the end color the same again, a bit brighter red. Click OK, and the start color a bit more orange. I'm going to take another quick look at it. So that looks quite nice. So if you keep the same color as the smoke, it will blend in even nicer, so it'll look quite cool. Cheers guys for watching this tutorial.